peace and quiet is getting harder to find. The global population reached 8 billion this week, according to estimates, and will continue to rise for some time to come. The UN projects that it will peak at around 10.4 billion people in the 2080s and remain at that level until 2100. It will then start to fall. But for those wishing to escape the crowds, there are plenty of options in both Europe and beyond. In this video, we will be talking about the top 10 emptiest countries on Earth. 10. Suriname. Suriname, squeezed between French Guiana, Brazil, and Guyana, was given to the Dutch by Britain in 1667, in exchange for none other than New Amsterdam. Dutch remains the official language, and although the country is mostly rainforest, there are no natural harbors, and few railways or roads. Its capital, Paramaribo, is home to the St. Peter and Paul Cathedral, which would not look out of place in a European city. 9. Guyana. Guyana's appeals are not dissimilar from its neighbor to the east. This former British colony offers an altogether different kind of Caribbean. But Guyana really comes alive away from the city, with pristine rainforest covering 80% of the country's territory, containing more than 900 bird species and large rodents. It will become significantly easier to reach in March 2023, when British Airways launches a new service from the UK, with a short stop in St. Lucia. Eight. Iceland. Next up is a country many Britons will be familiar with. Iceland has a population of around 370,000, with most living in the cool capital Reykjavik. Elsewhere on the island, there are glacier walks, descents into volcanoes, and black sand beaches. For Game of Thrones fans, it's a must-visit, having appeared as the wild, northern reaches of Westeros in several series. The landscape feels like the ends of the earth, even though it's only a short flight from Europe or North America. Pair that with cordial, interesting, creative and efficient Icelanders, and you've got an amazing trip beckoning. 7. Australia. Australia has an average population density of 3.4 persons per square kilometre of total land area, which makes it one of the most sparsely populated countries in the world. This is generally attributed to the desert geography of much of the interior of the country. One reason behind this large landmass being so desolate is the shortage of rainfall. More than two-thirds part of the country only receives less than 500 mm annual rain. This arid, uninhabitable part of Australia lies in the middle of the continent, the outback, away from the coasts. The vast Australia offers endless space. It's even home to the longest straight road in the world, the 90-mile Air Highway. 6. Namibia. Namibia, officially the Republic of Namibia, is a country in southern Africa. Despite being the driest country in sub-Saharan Africa, Namibia is loaded with diamonds and uranium, as it is in the top 6 largest producers in the world, for both. However, this country only has a population of 2.5 million people, meaning it has the second lowest population density of any sovereign country in the world. On one side of Namibia, the desert stretches along the entire coastline and varies between 100 and 200 kilometers. This desert is a gigantic expanse of moving gravel plains and dunes of all shapes and sizes, literally blocking the country from the ocean. As the result, the desert and salt water make it difficult to sustain life near the coast. Five. Western Sahara. Formerly a Spanish colony, the territory of Western Sahara was invaded and occupied by Moroccan and Mauritanian troops in 1975, following what has come to be known as the Madrid Accords, when Spain unilaterally withdrew from its colony. Despite a ceasefire in 1991 that put an end to the armed combat, Western Sahara remains a disputed territory. Nowadays, Morocco controls parts of the territory. However, the United Nations refers to Western Sahara as a non-self-governing territory and maintains a stance favoring self-determination for its people. With just 6 people per square mile, the Western Sahara remains one of the emptiest territories in the world. 4. Mongolia. The world's least crowded sovereign state, Mongolia has a population density of 4.9 people per square mile. The country's low population can be explained in part by its geographic and climatic extremes. Mongolia is home to soaring mountains and burning deserts, including the Gobi Desert in the southern third of the country. Because of the country's high average altitude, winters are long and temperatures are extreme. 3. Falkland Islands. This year marked 40 years since Argentina invaded the Falkland Islands, and even though much has changed, it remains a land of tough shepherds and penguins. There are 2,400 people living in Stanley, the capital of the Falkland Islands. The rest of the population, which numbers only a few hundred, is thinly scattered across the farms of the mainland and outer islands. Surprisingly, it is a multiracial society, with 60 nationalities, including 9th-generation islanders. 2. Svalbard and Jan Mayen. Svalbard is an archipelago under the jurisdiction of Norway in the Arctic Ocean, but is entitled to the special status given by the Treaty of Svalbard. Jan Mayen is a small Arctic Ocean island, and it has no established inhabitants, and is governed by the governor of the county of Nordland. What Svalbard and Jan Mayen have in common is that they are not assigned to counties, as the two combined portions of Norway. One. Greenland. There's a simple reason that so few people live in Greenland, and that's because 80% of the island is covered in a permanent ice sheet that is uninhabitable. None of the settlements on Greenland are linked to each other by road or railway, so it's not easy to get around. On top of that, Greenland is cold, with almost every town on the island staying below freezing for around 6 months of the year. More than a quarter of the country's population lives in the island's capital, Nuuk. And that will be all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed learning about the most empty countries in the world. Do not forget to like, comment and subscribe to see more videos like this.